Etsy fees. Is Etsy even worth it in 2023? We're going to cover that today. But before we jump into answering the question, is Etsy worth it? And what exactly are the fees? Let's compare Etsy for just a moment to some of the other big platforms. Etsy, eBay, and Amazon are three of the biggest marketplaces. Let's just take a quick second to compare these three. So without getting overly complicated, we'll keep things really simple. As each of these platforms, it gets much more complex when you start looking into it and what different kinds of programs you could be a part of. But at a very quick look, we know that Etsy has a 20-cent listing fee for each item that you list. That's the only upfront cost. And a 6.5% transaction fee when an item sells. eBay has a 30-cent fee and a 13.5% fee on orders. While Amazon has a $39.99 monthly subscription that's an upfront cost, and many of the orders are subject to 6 to 15% transaction fees. In this video, we will get into all of the Etsy fees, exactly what they are. I'll show you examples so you know how to figure out exactly what you've been charged on a sale that comes through your shop. I'll give you kind of my cheat sheet of how I kind of predict about how much each order will be for me. And I'll answer the question of whether or not I think Etsy is worth it. But before we do, Simply Shawna here, guys. If you're a subscriber, we welcome you back. And if this is your first time listening to content on this channel, we do hope you'll become a subscriber today and join our community. On this channel, we talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about creating an Etsy shop and connecting it with a print-on-demand company. I share my experiences. I'm a former fourth grade teacher, and now I am a full-time Etsy seller. I had a slow start, and it took me about 7 to 9 months before I started making money. But then it was a fast ride because after about a year and a half after opening my shop, I was able to quit my teaching job and do this full-time and double my teaching salary. This is repeatable and attainable, and you can do it too. Before we jump in, I would love for you to head down into the comments and tell me whether or not you think it's worth it. Is Etsy worth it? What are your thoughts? And I wonder if your mind will change at all by the end of the video. The three main types of fees that we're going to be talking about are 1, your listing fees, 2, your transaction fees, and 3, your processing fees. Let's talk about the listing fees first. So a listing fee is your only upfront cost with Etsy. And it's your only upfront cost with an Etsy shop linked with a print-on-demand company. Because when you link your Etsy shop with a print-on-demand company, you don't have to buy any materials. You create a design, you put it on a shirt, you list it, and you don't have to print that shirt until it sells on Etsy. And then you purchase that shirt and get it sent to the customer. So that listing fee is really your only upfront cost. It is only 20 cents. So when I first started my Etsy shop, I started cranking out the listings. You want as many listings as possible, as many good listings as possible. And in the beginning, mine were not good, but I got as many listings out there as I could, and each one was 20 cents. Now, if you're looking to open an Etsy shop, I do have a link down in the description that will get you 40 free listings. That's about $8 worth of listings. And I think I spent around $20 on listings before I made my first sale. When you're putting your listing together, you'll have an opportunity to choose whether you want it to auto-renew or manually renew. Now, if you choose auto-renew, your listing fee that you're paying, that 20 cents, puts your item on the shelf of consideration for all of the customers to see when they come onto Etsy for 4 months. And after 4 months, your listing is taken down if it's on manual, and you can relist it if you want. If you have it on auto renew, another 20 cents will automatically be charged and it'll be renewed. Now, of course, the hope is that you'll make a sale before those 4 months is up. And when that happens, you will automatically be charged, whether you're on manual or automatic, you'll automatically be charged 20 cents, and that listing will be re-put out after someone bought from it. And that 4-month counter will start again. The only time that wouldn't happen is in the listing. You also get to put the quantity of items you have. So in most of my listings, I put 999. That's just my go-to number. And if it gets to 0, so let's say you only had one. Maybe you're a handmade business and you only had one of these items. Once someone buys that item and you are showing that you're out of stock and there's no more quantity of it, then it would not automatically go back up for that 20 cent. With that 20 cents, it would be taken off of the shelf of consideration because Etsy sees you have no more. If you're wondering whether it's better to be on manual or automatic, I think this is just a matter of opinion, but I'll tell you what I've done. The entire first year and a half, I had all of my things on manual. And I did that because if my items did not sell after 4 months, I understood that, your listing gets a quality score. And if people are clicking on it and purchasing from it, that quality score increases and that listing gets pushed out more because Etsy sees that people are enjoying that item and that they might be able to make a sale with it. If it's not getting any attention, now the quality score is going down and it's less likely to get in front of people. So my thinking with this was, let me go ahead and let it just be taken off of Etsy after those 4 months. Then I can go into my expired listings and I can duplicate or copy them and then put it out as a fresh new listing. So I kept putting those listings out, but I just took some time to put them out as new listings. I really don't have time to keep up with that now, so now I have it on automatic for the most part. And then sometimes I go through and I'm deleting things that just haven't gotten attention after doing this 3 or 4 times. But that is what I decided to do. There's also your multi-quantity listing fee, which means that if you have one order coming through with different variations in it, so they ordered a medium and a large and a small shirt, you would be charged 20 cents. For that one order, you would be charged 20 cents per each of those shirts that were ordered. And then you can always create a private listing for a particular customer, and that would still cost you 20 cents. Next, let's talk about the transaction fee. But before we do, if you are enjoying this content and finding value from it, if you wouldn't mind taking a second to just smash the like button, that will let me know that the people watching this video are enjoying it and encourage me to make more. And it will also let the algorithm of YouTube know to show you more content like this. The transaction fee is 6.5% of the item total. The item total includes your item, it includes shipping, whether or not you made separate shipping charges or you incorporated it as free shipping, doesn't matter. Altogether, the item total, the shipping, whether or not it's separate or not, and gift wrap if you offer that. It does not include tax. So let's take a look at an example of that. This is a picture of one of my items that sold and what the customer paid. They paid an even $25. So in order to figure out what my 6.5% transaction fee is, I'm going to take that $25 and subtract out the tax. The rest of that total is what that customer paid for all of, the shipping and anything else that I offered. Here it's just the shirt. I have free shipping, so it's all incorporated. I'm going to take the total. I've subtracted out the tax, and I'm going to multiply that by 6.5% to get my transaction fee. So in this example, that winds up being the $25 minus the $1.64 that was sales tax. That gave us $23.36. We're going to multiply that $23.36, which is our item total, times 6.5%, and we get $1.52. So the first couple of months I started making sales, I was constantly checking in on this to see exactly what my profit margins were and to really get a feel for exactly what the Etsy fees were, exactly what I was paying with Printful, so I knew exactly what was going on. Now we're going to go hop over into our shop manager. In your Etsy sellers account, over to the left, you'll see a column that's your shop manager, and we're going to go into the finances tab. And in the finances tab, we're going to click on payment account. And that's where we could see, after we've made a sale, we can see exactly the fees that Etsy is taking out. We're going to take a peek at that right now, and I'll show you that we've figured out correctly what that 6.5% transaction fee is. All right, so here we are. You can see at the top there, it says transaction fee and that big pink arrow over there, $1.52. This is that order. These are all of the fees associated with that order that I just showed you. And the transaction fee, we see we did that correctly, $1.52. The sales tax, the one with the little government, symbol there, that's the $1.64, which we see that in our order. That's not paid to us at all. Etsy's taking that, removing it right away, and sending it to the proper places. And then we see a processing fee, which is what we're about to discuss next. And then down below, we see at the very bottom, we see the listing fee, which is 20 cents. We already covered that. All right, so let's talk about processing fees now. The processing fee is 3% of your order total. So this time we're going to use the number $25 because that was the entire order total, including tax, that customer paid when they checked out. And in addition to the 3%, it's a fixed 25 cents. So it's the 3% plus 25 cents. So in this case, we're going to take the $25, which was including tax, that's the entire order total, times 3%, which gives us, in this case, 75 cents. And then we're going to take that 75 cents and we're going to add that to 25 cents because of that fixed amount that's part of the processing fee. So for this order, that's $1. Let's just take a quick peek back over there where we went into our shop manager, we went into finances, and then we went into payment account where we could see all the fees that are associated with each of our orders. And when we double check that, we'll see we figured out the processing fee properly. So a quick overview of all of the fees. We did our listing fee for 20 cents. Our transaction fee was $1.52. Our processing fee was $1, which brought us to a total of $2.72 as our fees that we're paying Etsy. And so in this case, it winds up being right about 11.75% in fees. We'll take a much quicker, faster peek at another order, and I'll break it down for you one more time, that has multiple items in the order. This order was 2 shirts. And you'll see we have the order total there. We already have that. That's including the tax, the shipping, all of that, gift wrap if we have it available. And that's $45.10. And I went ahead and did the math there so I could get the item total as well. And that's the $45.10 minus the sales tax. And when I subtracted that out, the item total is $42.75. For the transaction fee, we need the item total, and for the processing fee, we need the order total. When we go over into our payment account to break it all down and see exactly what a 2-shirt order is costing us, we are going to see here the transaction fees for this order. It's broken down by shirts. Our transaction fee is the 6.5% of the item total, so not including tax. So we're going to use the number $42.75. And when we multiply 6.5% times $42.75, we get $2.78. That's the total for this order for the transaction fee. And for each shirt, if we add up the transaction fee for each, it was $1.44 for one, $1.34 for each, we'll see that we were charged a total of $2.78. And then we have sales tax there. Again, Etsy's collecting that and sending it to the right spot. We don't have to worry about that. And then we've got our processing fee, which is going to be the 3% of the order total. So that's that $45.10 total that includes tax times 3%. And then once we get that number, we would add it to 25 cents. And when we do that math, we see that we've gotten that correct. And then we have 2 shirts, different variations here in the same order, but we are going to be charged a listing fee for each. So 20 cents plus 20 cents, a total of 40 cents in listing fees for this order. So in total, for fees for this order that had 2 shirts in it, for my listing fees, I was charged 40 cents. The transaction fees came to $2.78, and the processing fees came to $1.60. So I was charged $4.78 in fees by Etsy. So for an order with 2 shirts in it, it comes to about 11%. Now, I don't go into this payment account very often anymore, but I used to a lot when I was first getting started, the first couple months, really just trying to get a feel for exactly what was going on and get an understanding. Now, if I want to have an idea of how much something is costing me, since my orders average around 2 shirts per order, some are 1, some are 3. In the end, it winds up being an average of 2 shirts. I just guesstimate that I'm going to be spending about 11%. The last fee we're going to chat about is an off-site ad fee. And I remember the first time I got charged this, I was mad because I opened my payment account and I'm seeing this extra fee and it's eating up pretty much my whole profit, and I was mad about it. I look at it completely different now. So I'll explain it to you and then I'll tell you how I look at it. So Etsy is actually running ads for us. And I'm not sure about this, but I know that I don't get many orders from this, and I got more orders from it from the beginning. So now that I'm caught up in the Etsy algorithm, I'm not sure that they're pushing my stuff as much on Google Ads, but I haven't looked into that. I really don't know. I just made more orders. I got more orders that way in the beginning than I do now. Etsy is running these ads for us. We only have to pay something if we make a sale. So it's not like something that we're getting charged on a regular basis. Only if we make a sale are we charged. If the last 365 days, you had less than $10,000 of revenue pass through your shop, then it is optional for you. And it is a 15% fee when you do make a sale through an offsite ad that Etsy runs for you. If you have made more or at least $10,000 in the last year, you are required to participate, but you are only paying a 12% fee. So, is Etsy worth it? My answer is yes. Yes, it is so very worth it. I mean, here we have a platform. It's one of the cheaper platforms to sell on compared to the other big marketplaces. There is hardly any upfront costs. As an entrepreneur, where else can you go and only pay 20 cents to put something out for customers to come in and possibly buy? It is such a great opportunity. And now here Etsy they're getting more and more shoppers every single year. Their branding is going up, which means all of us Etsy sellers have more and more customers coming to the platform and possibly buying our items. Then they are going and running offsite ads for us. If we had our own website, we would have to be running those offsite ads. We'd have to be running those ads ourselves. And that is costly. And there's an entire science to that. You think it's a lot to figure out, okay, well, I have to figure out SEO, and now I've got to figure out how to design well, and I've got to figure out how to match my work with my print-on-demand company. Now throw into the mix setting up your own website, the costs that go with setting up your own website, and now running ads and all of the huge learning curve there is with understanding how to run ads for your items. Etsy's doing all of that for us. So to say it in a nutshell, having your own website, using the other platforms, that is all fantastic. Those are all great choices too. But do I think Etsy's worth it? I think it is one of the easiest ways to get into this and one of the best ways to get successful without giving up. If we think Etsy is difficult, how much more difficult would it be with more roadblocks of things to learn? So in my book, Etsy is so worth it. If you're still here at the very end of this video, I count myself lucky that you've landed on my channel. I appreciate you watching, and I bet you are waiting for that tip from Tucker. So, Tucker, take it away.